And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm here with my partner in crime is Mr. Chris Edwards. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am recovering on this Focus Friday.
I hear you. I saw you kind
Yesterday,
of posting and sharing all day yesterday.
all day yesterday, I was sharing with our community. One here on YouTube, or the other on Instagram. Yesterday we were all together here, and it was good. We did our
That
first
was fun.
time me being on location, having Chris in the studio, and and just really sharing the parade. Yesterday we had, for those that are not in New York, we had a great celebration of our New York Liberties WNBA championship winners, and which is really big here in New York. New York is a basketball town, and the
It's a
last
sports
time we had a
town.
basketball championship was from the Knicks, and that was in 1976. I was in the sixth grade. That means I was 12 years old when that happened. And but you could feel the joy throughout the city. People were so excited. My shirt is somewhere. I tossed it off when I got in yesterday. But it was a lot of fun. You guys was, if you joined me yesterday, you saw the kids were losing their minds
Yeah.
behind me.
They were.
They were losing their minds. And I had to tell the police officer, I was like, because they got so excited, they were pushing the gate, and I didn't want the gate to fall, and then they all fall into the ground. And so then she started to be attentive to the kids. And then eventually the person that was standing next to me, he was like, I'm out. I'm done. The kids were, but it was, you know, those kids will never forget that
Nope.
yesterday's moment.
That's a memory they'll
And
live with forever.
yeah, it's a memory. I remember when I first went to my first ticker tape parade here in New York, and that was because the Giants won the Super Bowl. And I will never forget. And this was at the what we call the transition point of when we were still using ticker tapes, and paper on Wall Street. There's so little paper on Wall Street now. There's no real ticker tape parade like it used to be in the
Yeah.
old days. Now they have to make it and create it. But when literally when you would when they had when the Giants won their Super Bowl. Wait, no, my first ticker tape was not the Giants winning the Super Bowl. It was the Yankees winning the
Mm,
World Series.
okay.
It was the Yankees winning the World Series. And I remember we were all out there and people were just tossing all that we call trade notes. So we create trades, you put them on the paper, anyway, it's trade information. And you saw all that stuff flying, what would normally would be in the garbage. It was
They
flying
save it.
everywhere. And I wish I had a camera back then, but yeah, I just started. Whatever was in 1986, I think it was the Yankees. I don't know what team it was.
No, wait. 86 wasn't it the Mets
86.
that year? Was it
Was
the
it the
Mets?
Mets?
I think it was the
It
Mets.
was the Mets.
It was, and the reason why I remember, because I remember going to one of those seafood all you could eat places with my parents, and we were all watching the game in the restaurant
I
on the
think
big
you're right.
screen
It's the
TV.
Mets.
I think it was the Mets. That was the year of the magical Mets, I believe, 86. It sounds familiar.
Let me, gotta look at the Google machine.
Absolutely.
1986 New York Mets. New York City was the Mets 25th season. They improved from 98.
Oh, no.
No, I don't know. Okay, you know what? Who you could say who won the World Series in '86?
Yeah,
That's
and yeah,
who won the '86
Adrian is saying it was the Mets too.
1986 World Series, and I think it's the Mets though.
I think so.
New York City, October World Series at Game 7 of the 1986 World Series at Shea Stadium, October
Yeah, I
27th, 1986.
Keith
So it was the Mets.
Hernandez,
Yes,
Lenny Dykstra, all those guys. I
Strawberry,
remember them. Yes, Darryl Strawberry. I
Darryl
remember that. It was
Strawberry.
86. I remember having a big plate of
Yes,
shrimp in front of me, watching the game.
it was 86, and so that was my
I was
first time taking
11.
ticker tape. I had
I
just
was,
started on Wall Street. I started in March of '86. We also had the '86 crash. That was the crash of the stock market. I had just been working there like 5 months, and then we had the October crash. Literally, I think it was October 19th. October 19th was the crash. People needed the World Series in New York because
yeah.
of the crash that happened on Wall Street. And so I believe it or not, one of my colleagues on the American Stock Exchange went next door, jumped out the window. People literally, when they talk about people jumping out the window when stock markets crash, yeah, we lost 1 or 2 people to the and then one of my buddies that I work with, speaking of Wall Street, '86 crash. His father went home that weekend. No, later on Thanksgiving weekend, and his father did not come back to the trading floor. He committed suicide because of the 1986 crash. So, man, wow, '86 is a long time ago. But yeah, that was the last time we really had a real. That was really the end of the real ticker tape parades, where when I tell you there was paper of all kinds, and it was stuck in the trees. It was everywhere. Toilet tissue. People
I
were
remember.
tossing rolls of toilet tissue out the
Yeah,
window. It
yeah.
was crazy.
I watching those events back then on TV. It was like you couldn't even see anything because all you saw was a
Yes.
sea of paper.
Sea of paper. It was paper everywhere. I had
Yeah.
never, and I was this little poor black boy from Brooklyn, from Fort Greene. Back then it was called Fort Greene instead of Clinton Hill, and I had just got my job at the stock exchange, and so I had never seen this before, and I was just in awe. I couldn't believe it was it was snowing paper. It looked like you were in a blizzard. It was coming down so hard. Anyway, those are the good old days. Yesterday's parade obviously was not on that magnitude of ticker tape, but it still was a wonderful ceremony. They had a great time. Everyone was enjoying. They put these parades together in less than a week. I
Yeah.
mean, that was like 3 days. They had 3 days to put this together, and they did a great job. And then last night, I shared on my Instagram from Barclays Center, and they had a great night of just hanging out. My cousin got the tickets sold out in 2 hours. When they announced the tickets, you had to have a ticket to go to the after party, and but they were free. The tickets were free, but you had to get the tickets online. So my cousin got, I think I like my seat tickets. I was right behind the stage, but then my cousin in all his glory left me, so I was at my seat by myself, and somehow, I don't know how he did it, he made his way down where the VIP people were and the celebrities.
Connections.
I said, who do you know? Anyway, he's a big executive for Apple, and so he probably used. I'm sure he was able to work his magic. So let's say good morning to some folks. I see some folks in the building, And woo, you guys are chatting and talking. Okay, first out the gate, good morning to Rashawn Vincent. She says, good morning and happy Friday, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. And in second place, the silver goes to Chris R. Good morning. She gets the silver. And look who's on the list for the medals of the morning. Miss
Yeah.
G.R. There we go. G.R. Houston Jack saying good morning. And then we have Aya. Good morning. Good morning. Kelly A is in the building. Dr. Tachi is in the building. Dr. Tachi, good morning, all, she says. And just as a little advertisement for Indie Soup, guys, we are still on Indie Soup. We are on Indie Soup in repeats in the evenings at 4 o'clock, and Fridays at 6 o'clock. And but we are still boosting our Indie Soup. So if
Absolutely.
you don't have, there's so much good programming. Dr. Vibe and all the other folks that are on there. Gwendolyn is on there. A bunch of us are there. And if you want to see a good, like this, you're on a Friday night, or usually you're like, I don't know what I should be watching. Some great informative, Friday Night Takeover. Great information. Each person sharing facts and information that you could use. And so shout out to Indie Soup and Dr. Tachi this morning.
Absolutely.
And I see Bryson's in the building. Bryson, I do believe there's a birthday. Is it your birthday, sir? He says, what's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? What's up, CQ fam? What's up, RLP fam? It's officially my birthday, and it's Venom Friday. So we got to say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bryson. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, sir.
Yes, our entertainment guru. What's going on? Happy birthday, Bryson. May you have an awesome day and enjoy it.
Have a great weekend too.
Yes. If you lived in New York, you would have an awesome weekend because this weather's incredible still.
Oh, so rain. Nice in the Northeast. It's so nice in the Northeast. Yeah. And it's been a while.
It's been today's the 25th. So it's 26 days with no rain.
Wow.
Adrian is in the building. What's going on, Adrian? I went to the Mets ticker tape parade in 1986. Memories that you will never forget. Wasn't it awesome? Wasn't it awesome? I have fond memories of those days. There used to be, Adrian says, there used to be paper everywhere for the ticker tape parades. Yes, it was. It was knee deep in some places. I mean, reams of computer. Remember the old days when you had computer paper just to get your information? The holes
on the side.
Yes. And you'll be like, oh my gosh. I mean, they were throwing paper of every size out the window.
Yeah.
And I see the happy birthday wishes from G to Mr. Bryson. And everybody's, we love you, Bryson. We love you. Yep. Adrian says 86 was the Mets. And see here. I went to most home games in Shea. Oh, I didn't. Adrian, it sounds like you're a Met fan. I went to most home games at Shea in 1986 that summer.
Stadium.
My dad worked at Shea that summer. Wow, it was amazing. There's no longer a Shea Stadium. Now it's Citi Field.
Yep. And it's where the Shea Stadium parking lot used to be. They flip-flop. When these type of constructions, you had to put in an empty spot and then demo the old building. So Shea Stadium now is a parking lot and then the former parking lot is
the stadium. Citi Field. Yes, it is. Hey, D Tuggle is in the building. He says, good morning to everybody. What's up, Derek? And so Derek and I are in a we're in a race for the World Series because it's either going to be the Dodgers or it's going to be the Yankees. So we might be getting this. I think this. Nope, I think there was another year. This may be the second year, if the Yankees win, of 2 ticker tape parades in 1 year.
What was the other time?
I want to say, maybe someone can correct me or fact check or look for it. I think the year that the Giants won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I think
that's a possibility. It's a possibility.
I want to say the Rangers. I think it was the Rangers won. The Rangers. What's our other team in New York? Rangers and there's
the Islanders, but
the Islanders. It wasn't the Islanders, so it had to be sorry, Islanders. I think it was the Rangers. I think the Rangers won the same year as the Giants. I do believe I remember seeing. I remember one of those years.
Bryson says 2012.
It was 2012.
That's what he's saying. I'm looking at the comments.
2012 was in New York. And who was it?
Oh, I don't know.
So Giants and the Rangers, I do believe. It definitely wasn't the Devils from Jersey. Yeah, I think it was. I think that's the only time there's ever been 2 ticker tapes for 2 seasons. 2 winning sports teams. Anyway, my memory may fail me, but I'm pretty good on those things, those old stats. Okay, well, who else is in the building? We have in here. Let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, so Derek's saying Doyers instead of Dodgers. Go Doyers equal Dodgers. Bryson's usually good on that information as well. Charlene's in the building. Good morning, Charlene. We're gonna have to have coffee. We're gonna have to get together because we gotta stop meeting and not meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like we keep missing each other in different events here in New York. And so again, it was great yesterday. It was great to be at the event last night. And then to end it all, like I thought I was going to go home. And then guess who walks in the building? Fat Joe. So Fat Joe walks into the building and he brings the house down with all his old music. And then there was a young lady called, I think, Emma Mama or Emma Ma. Something like that. I don't know. She's a rapper. I don't know who she is. And but it was good music. And then I said, okay, I'm out of here. I'm out. And but I had a great day yesterday. So my voice, as it was slowly coming back, I probably injured my vocal cords yesterday.
Again.
Yes, because my doctor said it will come back in time. Your voice will come back in time. And that is what I'm hoping. So here's my hot coffee for my voice. So Chris, anything on your mind you want to talk about?
Actually, kind of, yeah. So
lead the way, sir.
And this week and next week, I will be here in this seat with you in studio. But after that, I'm going to be away for 2 weeks. And, I've been kind of holding off even talking about this. But here's a little clue.
Paris.
Paris and London. I'll be in Paris and London for 8 days. This is something that I've been planning for just about a year now. I started in January. This is actually for Ronald. Ronald's birthday is coming up. So our birthdays are 11 days apart. And one of the things he's always wanted to do was to go to London. That's been like his dream vacation, to go to London during the fall. So I said, you know what? I think this is something that we could definitely do. So as a surprise to him, he found out in July. He wasn't supposed to find out until September, but because he was trying to plan other things for his birthday, I was just like, all right, I can't do this anymore. So I surprised them in July, told them that we're going to London, and then I also surprised them and said we're going to go to Paris as well. So we're spending 5 days in London. We leave on the 7th and we come back on the 15th. And then on his actual birthday, we're going to spend the morning in London, and then we're taking the train to Paris and spending the evening on the Seine having dinner, and then the rest of the few days in Paris, and then we
Ooh,
come back.
on the
So
Seine.
yeah. So I'm super excited. It's getting close. We're down to 11 days before we leave. So super excited about that. So you guys won't see or hear from me for a
For
while
2 weeks.
after yeah,
He'll
yeah.
be gone. He'll be gone from us, y'all. He'll be gone. So when you do are you doing the boat down the Seine?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna you know how they have like the dinner cruises on the
Yes,
Seine?
it's
That's what we're
such
gonna
a
do.
I've done it. It's
Yeah,
great. You'll love it. It's
yeah.
beautiful. The bridges are nice and low, and you're gonna go under each one of them.
Yeah.
And you're in the beautiful ambiance of the city lights. You'll have the Eiffel Tower and all the nice scenes.
Well, here's
It's
a funny
gonna be
thing.
beautiful.
We wanted to do dinner at the Eiffel Tower, but it is so expensive. And then on top of
Yes.
it, I have a lot of dietary restrictions, so I have to be careful where I eat because I don't know if I can eat certain things. So we decided, you know what, let's just do this. It'd be better because one, you get to see a lot more of
You
the
get to see a
city,
whole lot
and
more.
yeah, yeah. And it's funny because you've known about this for quite some time. We almost slipped a
I
couple months
almost slipped.
ago.
I almost slipped.
But no, we're super excited. Actually, I pulled out the suitcases. We're starting to pack this weekend just to make sure we have, see what we have, what we still need, whatever. Um, and the nice thing about this is that, I've like I said, I would like to say that I'm well traveled, but I've never been to London. I've never been to Paris, so this is going to be exciting for me as well. But for me, really, this trip is about watching him experience this, through his eyes. And I love to see when we have new experiences. I don't know. There's just something magical about it. So I'm really looking forward to the trip, and I'm just glad we're able to do both countries. I love Europe and their trains. So to be able to take the train from London to Paris, and then just to have that experience is going to be really nice. I did it once when I was from Milan to Venice, and I just thoroughly enjoyed that trip. So looking forward to it. Super excited. Going to try to document it as much as possible, but I really want to be able to be in the moment and enjoy the experience.
Wow, that is let me tell you, well, you know how I feel about London and
Yeah,
Paris. And anytime I go to Paris or London, I do them both together. So you cannot do Paris without London. So it's like you do 5 days in Paris, 5 days in London.
yeah,
And it is I love it. I love going there. Is my favorite one of my. And then every time I do London, I'll do something outside of London. If I go to Paris, and I'll do something outside of Paris. So you get like 4 kind of like destinations done and new to you every time you
yeah.
go. So and when I was in London, we did day trips to Bath, and we also did the what we call the the what do you call it? What's la 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 Stonehenge. There we go.
Oh, okay,
Stonehenge.
okay.
I was like trying to grab the word Stonehenge, and it was so good. And then we were in Paris. We went to Versailles. We went to the countryside of Versailles,
We're
and
trying
that
to do
was
all of that.
beautiful. It was beautiful. And then so the next time I go to Paris, I will get on a train and then go to southern Paris and enjoy some of the beautiful south of Paris, or let's just say the south of France.
Yeah,
So there's some beautiful regions down there. So guys, if you have not gone, try. If you do go, do them in pairs. It really is beautiful, and the train ride is so fast. You just take a nap on the train and you are there. It's like,
Yeah, it's like from Delaware to New York, because I think it's 2 hours and 17 minutes. So I've already booked all the stuff. Like the airfare's booked, the hotels are booked, the train ride is booked. The only thing we have to book this weekend is the dinner cruise. But we're
yeah.
trying to find other things to do throughout. So
And you really
we're
don't have to
like
book
still.
them now. You can wait till you get there because you probably want to
Well,
book it
I
because
want
you
to
want to make
book
sure you
that one
get it.
because remember we leave the same day from London and get in Paris that afternoon, and I want to make
Gotcha.
sure that we have a spot already reserved for us for dinner that
Yeah,
evening. Yeah.
you could do it that way too. But yeah, so that's it. So also, I know she doesn't know I'm going to do this, and I know Lisa's been away doing her thing and get herself her book ready. So I'm going to share it with you guys. And if you haven't seen it yet, you might want to look at it. It's on her page. Lisa
Yes.
has her Hello Healing. And big news as of 10/21/24. The pre-sale for my new book is officially live today. And I couldn't be more excited to share this journey with you all. The pre-sale date is set for today, October 21st, 2024, which was a couple of days ago. It has a meaning. Let me break it down for you. And then she goes through all the breakdown of the book, and it's done in Lisa's style. The feel is definitely Lisa. And so make sure you get a pre-order and also look forward for it coming out and being able to just get it before, when it comes out as well. So anyway, shout out to Lisa for her book, and so excited for her. And I know she's been doing double time and getting things together and focusing on getting this project done. And it's called The Pause for Inner Peace. And Lisa Sealy. So guys, get out there, support her, support what she's doing. And I'm going to get a copy, and I can't wait to get one and just read through it. So excited for her.
I just love the amount of things that the people in this community are doing,
Yes.
Entrepreneurs, and just so focused and, doing what it is that they do best. Congratulations on the book.
So that was our first focus of the day of our Focus Friday. You know how we do on Focus Friday. Focus Friday, we focus on accounts that inspire and encourage. And so we have that. And so on that note, so, I mean, I know we do a lot of politics, and but we can probably get a little break away a little bit from it because we only got about a week left of this craziness. And but if you guys have an account, Instagram account, or a YouTube channel account that inspires you, encourages you, and blesses you, please put it in the comment box with a FF. So it'll be FF, Focus Friday, FF, and then put the @ so we know. And then if it's Instagram, if you put the @ we know it's Instagram. If it's YouTube, kind of just put YouTube on there as well so we can know the difference between the two. Okay. I'm excited. I do have, Chris, anything in the news you want to talk about before we dive into other stuff?
I mean, is this politics? If if I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch or watch the recaps of last night's rally in Georgia with Obama, Kamala,
And
Tyler Perry, a bunch of them were there, and it was a big rally yesterday, and then today's gonna be another big one.
Beyonce,
like I mentioned, Beyonce is supposed to be at the rally today, along with a few other, I think, musical acts. No one seems to know if she's going to perform or not, but she is expected to be there at the rally today because it's in Houston, Texas, I believe.
Yes. And I do believe she and her mother will be there. That's what they made specifically, that she and her mother will be there. So again, she might not be performing, but she will be there to support Kamala. Guys, we are at the last stretch of this race, and I cannot wait till it's over.
Yes.
And I am done. I am fatigued. I'm election fatigued. And
same here.
I just I try not to be insulting to the people that are voting for the orange guy, as people like to say. And I just, like I was sharing yesterday, when Kamala was on CNN on the night before last, this gentleman who is a Trump supporter he had the CNN live feed on his feed on YouTube, and since it was the best feed, I said, you know what, let me check it out, and I just could not believe the level he's got. I mean, he's a white guy, probably in his 20s, maybe mid 20s. It's like you want to say the white dude kind of guy, and it was almost, it was scary but also sad. I don't know if that makes sense.
It's sad.
It
It's
was
sad.
scary and it was sad because there was no room for intellectual learning.
No.
There was no ability in the mindset to say, you know what? Let me see if I can be educated on something. He would not let So when they started, some points I had to cut it down because I couldn't take his chiming in on Kamala's, responses and talks. And it was just, and again, like I've been following, obviously you guys know I'm a Lemon head, so I follow Don Lemon's feed as well. And he's been doing what's called the road trip. They drove down to Florida, and now they've been driving back towards New York, and they're just asking people randomly who they're voting for and why. And most Trump supporters, no, let me just not say most, all of the Trump supporters had no education of what they were voting for. They could not name a reason why intellectually they were voting for Trump.
Yeah.
And the things that they did list it were the things that were lies or assumptions or just parroting what they heard on Fox or some other place.
The crazy thing about what you're just saying with the Don Lemon thing, like, it's such a stark contrast because when he asked Trump supporters why they're voting, they can't give any answer besides, oh, well, he said that this and he said that, and
the economy was better.
And he'll ask about policies, and he's like, well, I don't really know. But it's funny when he asked Kamala supporters, they would go. He interviewed this young black lady who was on the street, and she said she'd been on the street
in Atlanta,
and she was so educated and knowledgeable about policies and why she was out there doing what she was doing, holding up her sign. And it just shows a stark contrast of the type of people and who is voting for who, Before I forget, today starts early voting here in the state of Delaware. So if you are in the state of Delaware, take advantage of the early voting. Ronald and I will be going to go vote after he gets home from work today around 4 o'clock. We will be doing our early voting. So we want to make sure that we get our vote in and get it counted as early and as soon as possible. So if you're in the state of Delaware, today starts early vote.
There's something I did want to bring to your attention, and I'm gonna, as soon as this thing, I'm gonna cue it up. But and I challenge everyone to follow this gentleman. This is an account that is, I think, especially for people of color, this is a great platform. It's called the Defiant Lawyers. Very good platform. And let me see here. I'm going to cue it up to, here we go. Right. Here we go. So I want you to see what Tucker Carlson was saying. And this is also quite scary.
That was scary. Yes.
Let me remove that. Sorry, move that. Stop sharing that one. Present. Okay, here we go. Let's go share this. You saw it, Chris? You heard about it?
I was listening to it this morning. I listened to it this morning.
This is quite Tucker Carlson. Anyway, here we are. Let me just share it. Here we go.
Tucker Carlson made again at a Trump rally or a KKK rally that was hosted by Turning Point. All right, let's do it.
It's too much. And so that's the second important thing about this election, okay? The first is every person in this room needs to understand you are not in a despised minority. You are in an incredibly gentle and tolerant majority.
All right. They may be the majority, but they're certainly not tolerant, and they are certainly not gentle. History rebuts every bit of that.
You put up with this crap for way too long. As they insulted not only you, but the memory of your ancestors who died for this country. They tore down statues to their memory. People never built anything in their life.
He is talking about the Confederate Army and supporters of the Confederate States of America. And it's a pretty astonishing admission. He's essentially saying that Trump supporters and Turning Point supporters are descendants of the Confederate. I am happy to hear him make that admission because I know it already. Now, what do the black folks in there think? They're certainly not descendants of the Confederate, which means they ought to be finding the exit, right? They ought to be getting out of there because they are definitely in the wrong place. He is talking to the descendants of the Confederates. I mean, he literally says they not only insulted you, but they're insulting your ancestors who died for this nation. And by the way, what they really died for was to keep blacks enslaved.
So you get it. So this is if you have, I always put these links into our description. This is, first of all, once we get past this election season, you also can, he talks about a lot of he's a lawyer. He and his daughter, they have a law firm. And this is Focus Friday. This is one of those accounts on YouTube that you need to be following, subscribe to. A lot of education, very smart lawyer. And I think you will definitely gain some knowledge, some wisdom, some understanding on policies. But he stays current on what's going on in the world politically. And he always brings out the legal and what legal ramifications of what's going on. So, I mean, I won't go through the whole video, but this was on yesterday, to say the day for yesterday, but it was posted yesterday. So check it out. Attorney Liberation of Turkey the Defiant Lawyers Network is called. The Defiant Lawyers Network is a very good platform.
Let me tell you something. Trump surrounds himself with the worst people. Tucker Carlson is pure trash. He was at a rally, I think it was yesterday or the day before, where he was calling VP Harrison a little girl, and that daddy was coming home to basically whoop her ass.
Yes.
And then he got the crowd chanting, "Daddy, Daddy Don." The misogyny, the sexism, the racism in that is, I mean, and then the fact that he said it, but then you've got a whole crowd chanting. This. Deplorables. Hillary got it right the first time.
I say it every time. Hillary got it right. These people, and I hate to call people deplorables, but I have no other choice. There are people that are deplorable and deplorable in their behavior, deplorable in their thinking, and it is quite troubling. Yeah, I saw that clip and I was like, holy moly, daddy's coming home.
Yeah.
Oh, and he goes through it. There's more to that video that I was sharing because he also dives into that. And but it's, you know what it reminds me of? For those that are into history, y'all know what I'm talking about. I look at a lot of documentaries of World War II and the Nazis and all that footage. And you know what's always the troubling of that footage when you watch the World War II footage is at the end of the war. And they roll the tape on people that were the generals and soldiers. I should say generals, but they were the privates, or they were the lower men on the totem pole that served Hitler. And you see them in these interviews weeping. And the reason why they are weeping is because they were so in allegiance to Hitler. Hitler he was a personality. They loved him. They thought he was bringing back country pride. They thought he was elevating them on the world stage. They were no longer little Germany, but they were going to be the Germany of the world. And they're taking over countries. They're rolling their tanks through. And these young white men, Germans, are so excited because they see this power, this powerful man. Sounds familiar, right? This powerful man that doesn't take any crap. He's just taking his tanks and moving through Europe. He's just conquering. And then the end. They wake up when everything around them is ablazed. Every building is demolished. Bombs have been fallen. The French, the Americans, the British, the Russians, they're moving in and they're destroying everything that Hitler built. And Germany now stands with the smoke and the ashes behind them as these men cry. We thought he was our leader. We thought he was leading us in the right direction. We thought, but their allegiance in the moment was he is everything. And every time I see these people, these poor people, because the rich people are using the poor people that are following.
Mhm.
They know better. They're the Harvard graduates. They're the Yale graduates. They know what they're doing. But it's these poor people that have been manipulated. And they have no idea what awaits them. They have no understanding of fascism. They have no idea because their education hasn't allowed them to learn. Or they've chosen not to learn.
They've chosen not to. I think we give people too much credit sometimes when we say, oh, they don't have the education. Education is at our fingertips now. There's no excuse for someone to not have knowledge when you have these devices. You can go, as you would say, on the Google machine and just type it in. So I think we give people, let's not underestimate people's ability to gain knowledge.
Yeah.
They choose not to.
They choose not to. And if this democracy falls, and if we're able to recapture it, 25, well, and Nazis, they were able to get it back in 15 years, around that. If we're able to recapture democracy, these people will be like those soldiers that served under Hitler. or the people that served under Hitler, because it wasn't just the soldiers, it was the people, and it was the common people. They were excited because they were winning. They were winning. They thought they were winning. Meanwhile, the whole world of justice was building against them. And eventually, because at the end of the day, justice will win. Justice will prevail. Now, if we lose our democracy, it will be for a season if Kamala doesn't win. But all the polls, everything is indicating that she's going to win. But if she doesn't win, there's a season that these people are going to think they're victorious in their Christian nationalism. Because it's a movement. They hate people. It's all about hate. And they think they're winning. But
I hope I could be as optimistic. Like if they were to win, I think it would take a really long time. Because here's the thing, it's one thing when another nation falls and loses democracy. You had the United States propping them still up and trying to help to bring them back. America is looked at as the beacon of democracy. When that beacon falls, I think that it defeats a lot of the other countries that looked up towards us. And
exactly.
It would take. I think it's going to take generations for it to come back, if it ever comes back. It would be starting this experiment all over again, because now you have known what to do, what not to do. You can't just pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
You'd have to start over. You really have to start over. I think that's where the Republican Party is right now. They can't just pick up where they left off. They have to completely start over.
Yeah. And so I know that's a sobering thought. I didn't want to do a Debbie Downer, but it's just when I heard that, I saw what Tucker was doing in that footage, and also Joy Reid shared it on her platform. It reminded me of all of those documentaries. I know I'm a nerd, so I can spend weekends learning war and history and all that stuff, because that's what I'm into. And it just like, wow, we are truly. And what's been also, they do a really good job on it, and they were talking about was what do you want to call it? Nation. I forgot. Hold on a second. Let me just pop it up on the screen. It's try to use my memory. And it's our folks at where is it? You know what I'm talking about. It's something nation. But what my brain is frozen.
Put the account in here again, because I'm looking. I don't see it.
Which one?
No, I'm talking to Gwendolyn.
Oh, okay.
She put a page in, but I don't see it. If you can just put it back in here, we'll get it up.
I don't know why my feed changed here. History, my histories. Oh, there's my histories. Oh, sorry. There we go. Native Land. I don't know why I couldn't figure out the name. Native Land podcast. They did such a good job in talking about fascism. And Angela Rye, she talks about we've been conditioned towards fascism all the way back when. Obviously, fascism has always, when you look at American history, there's always been this tug of war towards fascism, and then away, and then back, and then away. But you see it under Trump, when he goes after Obama's birth certificate, and then he comes into the world of you have your alternative facts, your alternative truth. So nothing is real, it's false. So you have this beginning of fascism right there. And it's just been building and building and tearing down all the American institutions and everything that that has been worked on and built on for democracy and for freedom. So guys, it is something worth looking at. But so that's going to be my next one I'm going to share with you. I'm just going to just share what it looks like on screen. And hold on a second. And because this was really good, and I love the folks of Native Land Podcast. I don't know why my brain froze up at that time, but I'm just gonna show you because they go into so many areas. But this is Native. This is Angela, and but this episode is what is fascism. You can just look it up. And it says holding white voters accountable and Giuliani under order to pay. But what the main thing is, what is fascism? So that's another one of my Focus Fridays for today. Check it out. I think you will gain some good knowledge from these wonderful three folks. They are so informative, and check them out. They always come out with a new episode on Thursdays. So they came out with their new episode yesterday, and one of the main topics is what is fascism, and I think I like the way they break it down and kept it very simple. Okay, so make sure you check that out. I'll put the links in the description. Chris, anything else on your mind, sir?
No, I think I got it all out.
Did you get it out?
I think I got it out.
You got it out. So, did anyone have any other accounts that they wanted to share?
Oh, I wanted Gwendolyn. Whatever. I look, but I don't see where you put it in the chat. So if you could put it in the chat again, the account you were talking about, we'll take a look at it.
Hey, I am Miss Reese is in the building. Hey, how you doing, Reese? Elise is in. Hey, Trish is in the building. Long time. We haven't had Trish in the building in a while. So good to see you, Trish. Trish is back, and Elise is in the building. And Brian says, check out Sisters in Law podcast. What is that, Mr. B? Sisters in-law.
Gwendolyn, text it to me because it's not coming through on the in the chat for some reason.
That's what that is, sister. Oh, here it is, sister-in-law. Full episode, sisters-in-law, sisters. Is this it? Hold on a second. The official page. Okay, let's see it. Is this it? Lawyers, sister. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is something that Brian is recommending. We got to check it out. I'm going to check it out at some point. But this is, let me just share it real with you guys so you know where it looks like. It's called, Brian is recommending, it's called Lawyers, Sisters in Law. And it looks like I do believe sisters. And it looks like they're lawyers. So Brian recommended that. So let me pop that in here on the screen. Here we go. Okay, so this is their platform, Sisters in Law. Let me see if we can pop on their page. Here it is, Sisters in Law, lawyers, travelers, and vloggers. And so that's another recommendation on our Focus Friday as we focus on accounts that encourage, inspire us. I'm going to dive into this one. This is like a good one. Anything that has law, in my head, I'm a lawyer in the alternate universe. But I love law. I love anything law. I love law. Okay, I like this. Definitely going to check it out. Thank you, Brian. Any other recommendations before we close out with our question of the day? You know how we roll on our Fridays. We have a question of the day.
Oh, so Gwendolyn was trying to promote Sharina's self-publishing workshop in November. So Sharina is one of our she's a AnySoup content creator, and
is it on Serena's page? Let me check.
Yeah,
Hold on a second.
I believe so.
Let me check on Serena's page. Hold on a second. Divine Writer. So she has poetry. Let me see. I see
It should be on November 14th.
Okay, let me see if this is it. Journey today. Okay, that's not that one. Let's see here. Let's go to. Yep, here we go. Okay, so this is, you check
All
out.
right, we got it. Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks, G.
share that with you guys. Hold on a second. Here we
Look
go.
at that teamwork.
Teamwork. Yes.
Makes the dream work.
They say.
I know that was corny, but it's okay.
I hate it. I used to hate that phrase because it was by my people at my job used to talk about it all the time. It's self-publishing one-on-one workshop. It's a national novel writing month, and that means it's time to start thinking about publishing your story. So join Serena Wills, local author and poet, for a dynamic and interactive online workshop where participants will learn about the foundation of self-publishing and the steps that it takes to go from starting the writing process, complete the book, to being self-published. In this workshop, you will learn about accountability, copywriting, and how to legally protect your work, the editing process, book layout, how to publish the book, marketing tips, and various ways to do book signings. This is on Zoom. It will be Thursday, November 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. So go to Divine Write. That's WRYTE. Divine Write with a Y, not the I, is YTE. And check out her page. I will put that in the link as well in the description for today. So check that out. That looks like an interesting Zoom. And so let's support our Serena. She's going to be doing her thing there. And awesome. I see her. Okay, got you. I see here. Got you. Who else? Anything else? Okay, so reminder, vote early. But I have a question for y'all, because this is what we do at the end of our Fridays, because we like these questions. We as a community have so much fun with them. Nostalgia time. It's nostalgia time. So here we go. It is your childhood favorite place to visit. Your childhood favorite place to visit. Obviously, y'all know mine was my auntie's. I would go to my auntie's house and just have the ball with my cousins, but it was really just to hang out with my aunt. No offense, cousins. But my aunt was so much fun to be with, and I just love being in the house in Queens. We had a backyard. My cousins had a dog, and we got rid of our dog, so we didn't have a dog any longer at our house. And I would just love when my aunt would pick us up every Friday from school and get us in her little Mustang car and drive us out to Queens, on the edge of Queens near Long Island. And we spent those weekends. That was my favorite childhood place to visit. What is yours? What is your favorite childhood place to visit?
I would have to say I had to really think about it. And I didn't. I don't think
right?
It is a deep one, and I didn't appreciate it as a child. I started appreciating it like in my late teens, but I would actually love when I would go back home, back to Jamaica. And it's funny because it was how I kind of fell in love with the thought of remembering back. It was about the smells. I'm very big on smells, and this is going to sound really weird. And maybe if there are any other Caribbeans or Jamaicans in the house, they can maybe understand what I'm talking about. But there was something about, in Jamaica, a lot of times people would burn their trash. All right, so you don't have like sanitation guys that come by and pick up trash. But it's not that they burn the trash. You would pack your trash in banana leaves, and then you would burn the banana leaves. And that smell of the banana leaves mixed with the trash had a certain smell to it. So even like when I travel throughout the US, whatever, sometimes you get that people still do burn their trash sometimes in their yard. Not necessarily banana leaves, but it's that sensation of that smell is very triggering. And then whenever I go back to Jamaica, it's been the last time I was there was back in 2018 when my grandmother passed. But whenever I would drive to the countryside, I would always smell it, and it would bring me back to my childhood. I would remember being a kid, like in the car, driving along the roadside, and just smelling that smell, and it made me just feel comfortable, like I was back home. So, going back home to Jamaica is, I guess, was my happy place. I didn't realize until I got older, but it was my happy place.
That's your happy place. My other happy place was around me all the time. That's why I didn't. My aunt was a special happy place, or my favorite place to like visit. My godmother was around the corner, like literally around. The house was around the corner, and my godmother was a country girl brought to New York from Virginia, and she used to cook. It was like that movie Mama, you go to Mama's house. Anyway, my godmother and I have four godbrothers, three godbrothers and a god sister. And my godmother made food from scratch every day. However, she put her hands, legs, and feet into her Sunday meals. And so on Sunday, we will always gather at her house for those big Sunday dinners after church. So we go to church. Then after we go to church, and we all go play handball, we hang out in the streets. And then we all rush over to my godmother's house. And all the young people in the neighborhood, we will all gather there. And she would make the most amazing foods. That was my other place. Food. Charlene reminded me of that when she says grandma's house. So any other people out there? Where we have Opryland? Oh, what's that? Kelly says Opryland Amusement Park here in Nashville. It closed in 1997. Wow. I remember when I was in Tennessee, I went to this place called Mud Island. It was like a little island. It was not too far from the Elvis Presley mansion, but there was a place in Tennessee called Mud Island. I don't know if it's still there, but we went there when we were kids.
Listen, Ron, I just put something in our private chat. Dr. Tachi, sorry, we missed it. So hopefully we can take a look at it real quick. She put a YouTube channel that she wanted to feature.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to do that really quick. Hold on a second. There we
Thanks,
go.
Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn's on the ball today, y'all.
No, she's look, it takes a team. Usually a lot of folks have what they call production teams working in the background.
Yes. Yeah.
We are our own production team. So here it is. Let's present that one for us. Thank you, Dr. Tachi, for that. And Kirk Nugent. Here we go. So check that out. And can you see it? Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah, we got it.
You got it. Good. Okay. Awesome. So check that out. And yeah, there we go. Excellent. So this looks like a good one. Wait, where did I go with the page? Hold on a second.
It's showing up. We can see it.
Okay. Hold on a second. My. Okay. Cool. So you see it, guys. It's called Stream Coaching for All Creators. Ooh, that looks good. I think I need that one. Speaking of creators, last night I went to obviously our Manhattan Chamber of Commerce. We had an event last night called Meeting Around Town. And I met this amazing gentleman from what his company's called 35 Creatives. And I was so fascinated by this gentleman. And I cannot wait. I told him, I said, well, first we were talking, and I said he was talking about his creative abilities and how he helps companies and entrepreneurs and support their business. And then I said, you know what? And then I started listening to him, and I was like, you know what? He would be a great guest. So this is good. Thank you, Dr. Tachi, for this one. It is Stream Coaching for All Creatives. Love it. I love it. Okay, good job. So guys, I think that's going to be it. I think that's it. That I love looking at all of your responses in here. I was able to star them because I like all those stars. Again, some of the favorite places. Trish said the shore. Elise said grandfather's farm. That's interesting. There's nothing like going to a farm. And also my spot was Astro World in Houston from Gwendolyn. And then my neighbor's house, she had a grapevine in the backyard, my grandmother's house and the park. Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Moments of nostalgia. They are the best things. It's therapy. Okay, guys. So anyway, I will see you guys probably during the weekend. Tomorrow is let me just get some advertisements done. So let me get my banners here. Again, for those that are looking for an event photographer, that is me. Oh, there we go. You can check me out for my photography business. And I photograph for great events. I did a great event this week. It was so much fun, so educational for the New York Housing Partnership. What an event. And I got to meet Charles Blow. And that was really a great moment. And some of the other guests that were there and some of the important people there in the room. And so that was really cool. But if you have an event and you're looking for an event photographer, reach out to me. All you got to do is just slide into my DMs. And also, as in my other banners here. And also, thank you again for all the Patreon folks that support this community. If you want to be a part of the Patreon community, you can go to support by joining my Patreon community by going to patreon.com/Ron Lewis Photos. And also, if you are here for the first time, remember to like, subscribe this channel. If you would do so, that would be great. And let me get rid of that banner. Hold on a second. And there you go. So the banner's gone. Okay, so join us on YouTube here at Ron Lewis Photos. And remember to like, subscribe, and share. And share it with 10 people. I'm giving you a homework. Share it with 10 people. Share what we do here for 10 people. If you are inspired or encouraged, some of our community is here every day connecting.
Every day.
It must mean something to you. So share it with your friends and family. And bring them here too. So that would be good to build our community as well. Let me make sure I got all these here. Elsie, you said you shared something? Did we miss Elsie's? Hold on a second. She says she shared, and I did see Elsie go across earlier.
Did she?
Did you see Elsie? We don't want to miss anyone. Yeah, I thought I saw Elsie. Elsie. I thought I saw something with Elsie. Anyway, first of all, hello, Elsie. And Chris and
I'm looking.
I saw something and then it disappeared. I remember seeing it.
So here's the thing. I think there's something wrong with the chat.
There she says in 1998, New York hosted. Oh, that was the ticker tape comment she made earlier.
Oh, okay.
John Glenn. She was saying in 1998, New York hosted 3 ticker tape parades. That's a good one for Sammy Sosa, the World Series champ, Yankees, and the astronaut for John Glenn. All fairly quick sessions. Nice. Thank you, Elsie, for that historical moment. Yes, that was good information. Thank you. So it's 1998. Wow. 1998. I was I on? Yeah, I was still on Wall Street. I was still on Wall Street then. Yeah. Thank you, Elsie, for that. That was a good one. Good, 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 good. I was like, wait a minute. She did put something up here. We did not lose you. It just went by so fast because of chat. So there you go, Elsie. Thank you. I think we got everything. There it is. Ticker tape. Got it. Okay. Have a great weekend, y'all. So, guys, thank you for joining us. And again, give Chris some love because we're not going to see Chris for a couple of
Well,
weeks.
I'll be here next week. Next week, Thursday and Friday, I'll be here.
Oh, you'll be here next week. Okay, so we'll give you
I'll be here next week.
Okay.
But after that, I won't be here I won't be around for 2 weeks after that.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're not getting rid of you. We're not getting rid of you so fast.
Not yet. One more week. One more week.
Okay. And so catch some good movies this weekend. Get ready for Halloween. Also, if you guys are looking for Halloween tips on photography, we did that on Tuesday. So check that out on my feed. You can get some great lessons. I also, if you go on this feed YouTube channel, you can see those the lessons are now broken down into just the lessons. So I'm separating the lessons from the actual Tip Tuesdays. So that way, if you want to just get like a quick lessons or share it with your friends, you can do that as well. So those are all broken down as well. Okay, guys, thank you. Have a wonderful weekend and love you all. And live life like you mean it. And focus on what matters. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being my partner in crime.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, we're out of here. Love ya.